Okay, I'm recording, so.
Yo, yo, yo. Okay, so I wrote down 9 questions. So my first question was, what time of day do you usually write? If you usually have a set time, like what is that set time, and do you actually follow it?
Well, I do have a set time to write during the day, but I don't usually follow it. But it really depends. I don't have like a specific time that I write. I guess I usually write at night, but I want to start writing more during the day.
For sure. But I feel like nighttime is like it's a moment when ideas really come to you.
Yeah, like your brain kind of starts going into dream mode.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
Okay. What's your favorite genre to write and why?
Ooh. Well, I've been toying around with like a very wholesome like romance genre, and I really want to like capture like actual romance, like people who like genuinely love each other and care for each other. However, I also really do like psychology, and psychology, it just feels like there's so much room to like explore, and there are so many things that you could do with it. And so that's what mainly most of my projects are revolving around, is the psychology bit of it.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of your writing centers around like the human mind and human emotions.
Yes. And especially like when it comes to horror, like I'm not into like the gore, like the violence.
Same.
Like that. It's mostly like the psychology of it. Like it makes you start thinking. It makes you like scared, but like mentally, not because of what's happening on the screen, but what's happening in the subliminals. Okay. The next one was, what are some books that you have read that heavily influence your writing now?
So pretty much every Jane Austen book.
Oh, I love that.
That's a lot of the inspo for Project Judgment that I'm working on. Probably like, I think I've read almost every single Mary Downing handbook. She's my favorite author next to Jane Austen, and she writes like horror, but like you mentioned earlier, not where it's like super gory, but just like kind of eerie and twisted stories that like make your mind bend. That's mostly what like I get my inspiration from.
I love that though. Like I feel like your writing is very whimsical as well. It's like very.
That's such a compliment.
Like, yeah, for sure. Like I don't know like if this is like the right way to describe it, but I feel like from the ones that I've read, it's like very airy. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like whimsical and it's magical.
That's exactly what I was going for.
The way that you described everything was really pretty.
Have you ever stayed up all night writing, and if so, is there a particular reason why?
Yeah, actually, I was on one of my very first writing blogs that I had posted on one of my shorts. I had posted it and I had ended it on like 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30, something like that. I was going to stop writing right then and there. I did. I got something to drink and I came back upstairs and I was looking at some of my notes, and all of a sudden something just hit me. Like, I don't know what it was. I was looking at the notes, I was looking at the pictures, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I should totally include like some kind of like romance in there. And this is my from Project Art. And I ended up like sitting down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just brainstorm really quick and I'll start writing a little bit. But it ended up like I stayed up till like 7 o'clock in the morning. But like that was my most recent like all-nighter. That was random inspiration that hit. So,
that's
but yeah,
so cool. Oh my gosh.
This one's totally random because I know that we both write in Google Docs. What font do you usually use? What's your default?
Garamond. I don't know if that's how you say it. I also like Laura. Those are my two favorites I like to use.
Garamond is like more of like that typewriter, or like more of like the calligraphy kind of look.
Mm-hmm. Laura is pretty similar to that, but I feel like it's a little bit more soft and like the edges are just a little bit more like whimsical. This was a little bit of a tough question, so it's okay if you don't like know right away how to answer it. What's an unpopular word that you love to use when writing, merely because it sounds poetic?
An unpopular word. Well, I'm more familiar with like unpopular like phrases. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like something like her eyes darkened. Or
yeah, like those. But when it comes to words, I'm not sure. All right. So another question that I had, and that I know that some writers will use while they're writing, but my question would be: do you keep writing journals?
Not like specifically a writing journal, but I do have a poetry journal. I actually have it right here. It's from this journal that my aunt got for me in Mexico.
Oh, cute.
I love it so much. But yeah, I might have shown it in a couple of my videos, but yeah, it's kind of like a writing journal, but I guess just more narrowed down. I mean, I kind of keep like a Notion page, like in my Notion. It's like an organizational app. I have like a page just made for writing, and I kind of just write down like words that I want to put in my books that I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that word so much. Names for characters, or like just phrases that I want to put in my books. So I don't know if that would count, but it's not really like a writing journal. Okay. I only have one more question.
Okay, hit me with it.
Okay. What is your favorite type of scene to write and why?
Scene. So you mean like fighting scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah, based off of the stories that I've written, I feel like I don't have that many like scenes like between characters that are like really, really big. I mostly have it from their point of view, and it's usually like inward thinking. Okay, well, I guess for scenes, it would be like light banter between characters. I really enjoy building the character, like certain character dynamics where they're just completely lighthearted with each other. They don't take anything they say seriously. They know that they're messing around. I feel like I really enjoy writing scenes with the dialogue is just completely lighthearted, playful. Like it just brings out the sweetest parts of the characters. I guess those are my favorite scenes, is developing the characters' relationships.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
Okay, so as a writer, paint me a picture. What is your environment like? What do you have next to you? What tools do you use as you work?
I usually have some kind of drink next to me, whether it's tea, coffee, or just a glass of water.
It's needed.
It's usually nighttime, so I usually have my fairy lights turned on, so it's kind of cozy. And I always have like sometimes I have like my poetry journal out in case I get a strike of inspiration, but other than that, I don't usually have a ton like a very unique writing environment.
I got you.
So what do we do for like the outro or whatever?
Leave. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. What do you want to do?